Well, hello, my name is Jenn Miller, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Renewable IPP. We're an Alaska-based solar developer, construction company, and operations and maintenance company developing utility-scale solar farms here in Alaska. Renewable IPP was founded in 2017, and we built our first solar farm in 2018, and so that was, you're going to be shocked, it was a whopping 140 kilowatt system. And what's neat about that project is we actually bought the land, financed the project, designed it, and then most importantly, we built it ourselves as the original partners. And so we got a lot of experience, hands-on experience, knowing, how would we improve the design, how would we make it more competitive, and then also just having that firsthand knowledge on what is the dollar per watt for Alaska. And the key insight from that is it's not that different from the lower 48 or other locations as you might think. A year later, we turned around a 1.2 megawatt solar farm that we came online in 2019, and so definitely exponential growth, which is, it's fun when you start really small because it's easy to have many magnitudes of growth. one positive. And then just last year in 2023, we brought online an 8.5 megawatt solar farm, and so with each step we got more and more confident on what our cost model is, what the economics look like, and really building our capability as a company again across all those development, construction, operation, getting that full experience. And often we get asked, how have the assets, how are they actually producing? Are they performing like we thought? What challenges have we run into? And what I would say is that, generally, I would say on the finance side, as far as revenue and operating costs, those are all coming in as predicted. And then probably the main challenge has been around being in a new market and not necessarily having a critical mass for the industry. And so really we were the first company to start utility scale solar, and so there weren't a lot of construction EPC companies that we could use, and that's why we became our own. And then similarly on the operations side, there isn't an existing solar operations and maintenance company, so we had to learn that firsthand. And then the key challenge is how do you staff that as you only have a small number of farms that are also small and don't have a lot of revenue to support a lot of operating costs or full-time positions. There's this perception of, does solar work in northern climates? And everyone, when they think of Alaska, they think of these harsh conditions, dark winters, and it's definitely not. When you think of solar, you think of sunshine and warm temperatures, and everything's peachy. And so what I think as we work through due diligence with our financing partner, Clean Capital, it was really just breaking down those mental barriers on those perceptions, because once you take a look at the numbers, you say, okay, what's my production? What is the electricity price? What are my operating costs? And so you really have to kind of just get past that emotional response, just like any kind of critical decision, and get to what are the facts, what do the numbers tell you, and do the economics work? And what we found is that solar, especially with the drop in price for solar over the last decade, now solar is competitive in these northern markets, and so it's just actually a really exciting time to be deploying solar in a northern latitude where folks didn't think it was possible, but now it is economically competitive. And Alaska's grid it is small. It doesn't have a lot of redundancy, and so it was certainly a concern as we look to tie in these projects. And how we really worked through that is, talking through our operational history, is we really took, what would be considered potentially like baby steps. And so we started really small with just a 140 kilowatt pilot. Then we went to a 1.2 megawatt expansion, and those two sizes you can say are negligible, like they're not noticeable. But what was great is it helped both our company and the utility look at actual operating data to see what are the variation levels and how does the grid respond. And that gave us the confidence to do the 8.5 megawatt Houston project. And that project is tying into the distribution system, and so it's not even though it's not a very large project on a, on a global scale, certainly. But for tying into a distribution network, it is a large system where it can, generate, on a nice sunny day, it can be the majority of production within that distribution line. And so when the cloud comes and production falls off, it's very much felt by the grid. And ultimately, what allowed us to work through those technical questions and queries is doing that stepwise approach built confidence amongst all the teams, such that we could say, hey, we've got data on these smaller system, let's scale that, let's see what that looks like. And and then it also allowed us to build trust.